This is the story of Darth Bane in the Old Republic and how he started the rule of two. Then there were thousands of Jedi, thousands of Sith. A great war was spanning for centuries and centuries. Eventually, there became a queen that was so powerful she pretty much became ruler of all the Sith. She brought together lords and different sects and created pretty much the Jedi Order, but for the Sith. They had their own temple, and it was an ancient Jedi temple where they trained Sith. Eventually, Bane became really known in the Sith community as a super powerful person that just could not be destroyed. They ended up sending him to this place to be trained. He becomes so powerful the lords there even become scared of him. Eventually, they end up sending him out into a wilderness to be by himself and learn the ways of the ancient Sith. But what they didn't tell him was that nobody, not even the Knights of Ren, had ever survived this. He, however, did, and came back with even more power and knowledge and told them about this power, but not everything. He learned about a holocron that gave you super abilities, but he had to find it. Well, with this newfound power, what they called the spirit bomb, they decided to come after all the Jedi, destroy all of them. A huge war between Sith and Jedi. So it began. However, the Queen was there, all the great High Lords, and Bane. They figured with Bane by their side, they could not lose. However, Bane had his own plans. He decided, I'm gonna not fight, make them use the spirit bomb, because he had a different plan. He knew that throughout his travels in different Sith cultures, that each lord was protecting a certain dark ability that they were not letting anyone else know, and he realized separated they'll never become anything great. Back to the battle. He ends up betraying them and leaving them to themselves, and they're forced to use this spirit bomb. This spirit bomb, however, does not just kill who you aim at, it destroys everything and everyone. And tens of thousands of Sith and Jedi were instantly wiped off the map, and Bane, miles and miles away, stands and watches this chaos happen. He, however, goes back to the temple, destroys all but one person who he says, you are my new apprentice. And so now he begins the rule of two. He is the one to rule all, and with his apprentice they went throughout the galaxy and gaining as much knowledge and destroying every Sith or Jedi that came in their path, and they became absolute control. However, he wanted the holocron's power. He could not tell his apprentice about this, and she became very leery and nervous of him, wanting the power he was not telling her. He ends up leaving and looking for it. She follows him, and at that temple they fight, and she almost kills him over it, but he ends up prevailing and ends up finally getting it. With it, he learns the power of immortality, but it's not immortality like he thought. When he used it, it destroyed his body and made him look horribly mutated. But the way to use the actual power was to not just live forever, but when you die, or before you die, it's to take your personal life and put it into another person. And this is how he survived for millennia. This is why when Plageius trained Palpatine, you'd think Palpatine killed Plageius, but no, he did not. Revan, a Jedi thousands of years ago, realized this and saw what he was and realized what this dark, evil, powerful Lord could be capable of, and this terrified him. The Emperor thinks he kills the Plageius, but Plageius just took the Emperor's body, and now the Emperor had his own plan with his own son Darth Vader that as Plageius he created. They end up taking over the galaxy, father and son. After the first Death Star is destroyed, he sends Darth Vader on a mission to get this a crystal, super Jedi crystal, called the Mind's Eye, and he encounters Luke here. And this is where Luke and him really start to kind of connect, but that's not a movie, so you won't know this. But this is why in the Return of the Jedi, you find out why Darth Vader is so easily turned against the Emperor. But the Emperor does not die. He does not. He goes into hiding while after the Death Star is destroyed and they destroy all the rest of the Empire, Luke and Leia and Han, they start a new Jedi Order with Han and Leia's twins, Ben and Jaina. They end up becoming strong, powerful Jedi again, and then that is when Grand Admiral Thrawn suddenly comes into the mix. Grand Admiral Thrawn, they end up learning, is being controlled by a super evil, powerful force that towards the end, Luke ends up looking to find and realizes when he's there, he feels the power of the Emperor. Again, it is mentioned that the Emperor is still alive. Luke barely escapes with his life, and things continue. Eventually, Han and Leia's son Ben discovers this holocron in an ancient Sith temple and learns of this super power and that it could be maintained and controlled. He goes out looking for it and only finds the Emperor as Snoke. And the Emperor realizes and knows immediately who this person is, and instead of killing him, trains him, and trains him to turn into this great, powerful, evil Knight of Ren. But you have to understand, this is all one person. This is all Bane's doing. Countless different books and different series mention it. How that this thing has been alive and survived for tens of thousands of years. And that is why he has been so perfect. He's been in the background, just manipulating and controlling and learning and learning. And that is how Bane has become, from Plageius to the Emperor to Snoke. It is all because of the immortality that he has learned.